Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Excellence IAS. Let us do the editorial analysis for today, that is 1st October 2022. The first article, letting go of a chance to democratize telecom services. You know, the draft Indian Telecommunications Bill is being put forward. Let us critically analyze this. How UPSC can ask you the questions. This is a topic which is relevant for mains. This entire heading can be a question itself. If the UPSC wants to ask you about critical analysis related to telecommunication services, the present draft national bill is not a tool towards democratization of telecommunication services critically analyzed. So that can be a question to you. So it means the criticism of the telecommunication bill we are going to analyze over here. The first is, today the telecom services definition is expanded. WhatsApp, Signal, all these also comes under the definition of telecom services. Is it right? What the government's argument is, there has to be level playing field between the telecom providers like Airtel, BSNL and the WhatsApp, Signal, etc. It has to be understood this way. The critical infrastructure has to be provided by these Airtel, BSNL, etc. Over and above that, this WhatsApp, Signal, etc. works. It means classifying them both as one and the same is the question over here. So the telecom services, does they include the OTT services, WhatsApp, Signal, etc. or not? From the existing bill, yes, they are also included. What are the consequences of that? Once they come under the definition of telecom services, they need to get the license from Government of India to operate. And second, they come under the telecom regulations. Third, detail of every individual shall be available with them. So, more and more controls government can create on these particular operators. So, there are two perspectives to this. One is the state regulation is important for telecom services. On the other side, user's choice and then digital rights need to be promoted. The user's choice and digital rights, what they talk about is the customer shall be free to choose the service he wants to use for a telecommunication or for any calling or messaging or for that matter any service he wants to use. So it means the right of the individual to use the service he wants is critical over here. And second aspect is the data localization has been recommended. Government can access data at will. It means traceability is easy. The data of WhatsApp related to Indians have to be stored in India itself. In that way, government can have control over these multinational companies. This is damaging to the privacy of the citizens. That is the second argument. The third is the government can intercept the messages at any point of time. Obviously, that increases the hand of the law enforcement agencies on one side, and which is essential for security. On the other side, it is also a damaging thing to the end-to-end encryption. In a way, the end-to-end encryption of WhatsApp, Signal is going to come to end in India. Second, the internet shutdowns, they have a lot of socio-economic consequences. Today, internet is critical for right to health, right to education. If you see Kerala High Court judgment, right to internet is a fundamental right. In these circumstances, internet shutdowns being legalized under this law is also being questioned. So what are the carry home points over here? One is the government's authority and control over the telecom services is increasing, which also includes WhatsApp, Signal, etc. today. The data localization, and then we have government's authority to intercept, and finally, the internet shutdowns are being legalized through this law. And net neutrality, India was very much high talking on net neutrality. There was a lot of activism on it. But the government's bill did not talk about the net neutrality. So these are all the factors which are questioning the rights or internet rights. Second is privacy of the individuals. That's why this has been said as it's an opportunity lost to democratize the telecom services in India. No discrimination. This is based on the Supreme Court judgment on medical termination of pregnancy. Unmarried women between 20 to 24 weeks of pregnancy, they cannot avail the medical services. Now, this situation has changed. Equality is the principle which has been brought in. how this principle of equality, dignity, bodily autonomy, and privacy is been applied in the case of the medical termination of pregnancy. Let us examine. The first is there shall be no discrimination. It means that unmarried pregnant women, minors, they get the rights to abortion. It means minors, if they are pregnant, that comes under the POCSO Act, Prevention of Child Sex Offences Act. In this, the offense need to be informed. Any kind of abortion of a minor need to be informed to the police. Now, the Supreme Court judgment made it clear that the medical practitioner need not inform the abortion of a minor to the police, and identity also need not be revealed. Next, women can also abort a pregnancy that has come from a forcible sex in a marriage. In a way, the court is indirectly recognized the marital rape through this particular provision. And change of marital circumstances or status is another thing which can be a ground for the abortion. What is that? A woman in a consensual sex, though unmarried, if they get separated, that consists of change in marital status. This change in marital status can bring in a lot of emotional, psychological, and material change for the woman, the change in socio-economic condition for the woman. So that's why women can decide on abortion on the change in marital status. These are the 4 points which have ended the discrimination in the case of medical termination of pregnancy. So on what principles it has been based on? Equality, dignity, privacy, and bodily autonomy. So what is the conclusion we can add to this? The Supreme Court ruling makes it equal for everyone. It means equal access to abortion is critical for safety, reproductive safety of women. That is the point. We can use it as a conclusion. Thank you very much. Have a great day.